Morning, all. All right, so tonight it is game two or game three, depending on how many games that first game counted as. No, it was one game. So, game two tonight between the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll see what kind of energy they have at the start of the game and how much energy they have at the end of the game and whether or not we need overtime again. It would not surprise me. These teams play very, very similar style. This is a very evenly matched series. Florida leads one game to nothing though, by virtue of the goal in overtime, the fourth overtime, almost the end of the fourth overtime by Matthew Tkachuk. Eric Stahl is one that I thought was really prominent the other night. He only has a goal and an assist in the playoffs. He's due for a goal, and he's against his former team. It feels like it's destined that there'll be a goal for Eric Stahl at a key moment in this series. Seth Jarvis has been really good for Carolina. 5 goals, 5 assists. Doesn't get as much notice outside of Carolina fandom as I think he should. And these playoffs are a good chance for other fans to discover just how good Jarvis can be. So let me know who you think wins this game in the comment section below. Last night, before the game between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars, they were giving out free weddings in Vegas outside the building, and that's as Vegas as you get. That's as Vegas as you. I'm surprised it's not offered as a service, honestly. I'm surprised there isn't a package to get a ticket to the game and a wedding while you're there because it's Vegas, right? They should have a little chapel in there, and just you go in, you get your ticket, and all right, well, here's your voucher for your wedding, and sure, I think it could work. It's a nice tourist move. But yeah, so that was nice, and they were posting all of the people that were getting married on their social media. That was nice. So yeah, feel good story right there from Vegas. Now, getting back to Toronto and the ongoing Young and the Restless feeling saga that is the Toronto Maple Leafs at this point, they have permission to talk to Brad Treliving regarding the GM position. The outline is simple, though. According to Eric Francis, draft draft discussions are off the table. He's also clarifying this is what it was with Pittsburgh as well. Pittsburgh has a draft pick at 14, Calgary at 16. The last thing that the Flames want is their former general manager to sit down with the Pittsburgh Penguins and go, well, the guy we liked at 16 is, and the one that and our research showed, so that's why the Flames would block that off. Makes complete and total sense. But so again, that would mean after the draft. Well, yeah, go ahead, talk about whatever you'd like. But yeah, so it looks like Treliving's going to be in some demand here, and we'll see whether or not the Leafs sit down with them. And again, because Brendan Shanahan said that it has to be a GM with some experience, this has people really kind of concerned about what that could lead to and who that might mean coming in. And the one thing is too, did he say NHL experience? Because you can have experience as a general manager in hockey and not necessarily have that at the National Hockey League level. But at any rate, it's been read that that means a former NHL GM somewhere, and I'm here for all the crazy, wild speculation, as it feels like most of the Canadian teams right now are going through some form of turmoil. The American teams are not, but the Canadian teams, it seems, are going through a lot of turmoil right now. But at any rate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, Leaf fans. Who would you like to have as the new GM of the team? And again, we're having this discussion, and the dust has not settled on the Dubas Shanahan breakdown and all of that, and all the speculations on what might have happened, what could happen, and all that fun stuff. Clayton Keller. So what's interesting is Clayton Keller's dad said some stuff, and then he said, "No, I didn't. My account got hacked," which is that's peak Kurt Angle right there. Keller's agents met with reps from the team on Thursday. This was reported yesterday by Elliot Friedman to discuss the team's future. Basically, Clayton Keller's giving all of his best years to Arizona. The expectation was that the Coyotes would go to mullet, but they'd figure this out. Keller's a superstar in this league. If Keller played anywhere other than Arizona, he would be a much better known commodity. If he played for a team like a Carolina or a Florida, I have no doubt he'd be at the 100-point level. So, yeah, Keller is a star, and if there's anybody Arizona would be terrified of losing, it would be Clayton Keller. And so no trade request was made, but my guess is that his agents, and yes, that's multiple agents, probably let the team know. We need to know what's going on. There's a lot of speculation now about Mesa, and that Mesa might be the perfect place, and that Mesa's willing to work with them, but we'll see. Certainly, this is. I don't feel like this is a situation that can sit out there for very long. I think this needs to be resolved within a few weeks because if Arizona lets this uncertainty and if the NHL lets this uncertainty just lord over the team, players aren't going to want to sign there. Players who are there are going to want out. All of that stuff that I've railed against for the last 12 months about no, players aren't asking to leave and all that, yeah, it's going to go the other way. Absolutely. The players opting to stay there was with the idea you're going to stay at Mullet for a few years and then you transition into the new Tempe Arena. Well, now the Tempe Arena is gone and there's a lot of uncertainty. So now I can totally see why players would be going to the team and saying, look, I need to know. Because this is their prime years. For Keller, these are his most productive years. And he may want a chance to win something at some point in time. And so there you go. All right, now outside of the National Hockey League, the Seattle Thunderbirds, they did it. WHL Championship, the third Memorial Cup appearance for Seattle is on the way. They made a Memorial Cup appearance in 1992 as well as 2017. So the T-Birds, they are moving on. They are the WHL champions. Meanwhile, the Firebirds from Coachella Valley, it just feels like names from the early 80s. The Firebirds, the T-Birds. All we're missing is the Trans Ams. We need a team named the Trans Ams and we're good. Or the Camaros. Anyways, and I know that those both came back, right? Didn't they start making Trans Ams again? It doesn't matter. Anyways, so Coachella Valley has eliminated the Wranglers. They did it in the fifth game. They won 6-5 in overtime. And they will play the winner of Game 5 between Texas and Milwaukee. So the Western Final's not set yet. The Eastern Final's been set for a while. It's Hershey and Rochester. So Game 5 between Texas and Milwaukee will be tomorrow. Now, Texas and Milwaukee last night played into double overtime. Oscar Back scored for the Texas Stars at 15-10 of double overtime to force this deciding Game 5. Remember, it is best of 5 in the early rounds in the AHL. It is best of 7 in the Western and Eastern Final as well as in the Calder Cup. But yeah, so Matt Murray saved 42 out of 45. It is interesting, too, because Matt Murray, when he was called up, it kind of caused some confusion because it's not that Matt Murray. So there's the other Matt Murray. The other Matt Murray's not bad. At the NHL level, his numbers not great, but he's young, and his AHL numbers have been good. So there's the possibility that this Matt Murray has some NHL upside, which I think Dallas would absolutely welcome. Now, at the World Championships, which are the World Championships are really interesting to me because the rosters are kind of fluid and guys get added, and you don't really get a good idea for what the teams are going to really be until after the second round of the playoffs and the NHL are done, and then more players go over and play. But today, Switzerland, they beat Canada 3-2, so that puts Switzerland atop Group B. The Americans are leading Group A, and the medal round will start on Thursday. So the way that I look at the World Championships, because you have 16 different countries, all your favorites are going to make the medal round. I start paying more attention when the medal round rolls around. The round robin does take a little while. That part of the tournament does take a while to go through. And again, for Canada, this was the first big challenge they had, and they lost the game 3-2 for the Swiss. Good on them. I think that it's always beneficial to hockey in general when countries like Switzerland have some success. Because again, in Canada, hockey really can't get bigger. So I like to see stories where countries that, hockey is still growing or hockey could be a bigger deal. I like to see when they have those good results. And a win over Canada, that'll garner some attention for the Swiss. So good on them for that. We'll see what happens when the medal round rolls around. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.